guys, Zoblard here, back in with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys Warhammer 40k Necron Warrior. So without further ado, let's get into it, kicking things off with the accessories. Kicking things off with accessories, Necron comes with a display stand, a big honkin' rifle, and this weird little robotic scarab beetle thing. Let me know in the comments what that thing is called. His gun has, of course, the standard handle and a handle on the side, so you can have him hold it like a traditional rifle, or you can have him hold that handle on the side just to carry it around, I guess. I would recommend you heat up the hands before trying to pry that thing in there, though. But with that being said, time to move on to articulation. Moving on to the articulation on this guy, it is actually a little bit different than what we're used to seeing with a standard McFarlane Toys figure. It doesn't exactly follow the same guidelines as most of his other figures that have the 22-point system built into him. He's actually got a little bit less, but in a way gets just about the same amount of range and or movement. Because he is a slender chap, they don't want you to hashtag break your toys. So, that being said, let's get into it, shall we? Let's. Looking a little bit like Metallo here. Or, you know, just the Terminator in general. This figure looks really awesome. He's got a nice wash to him. Nice gold with some black wash all over. And he's got the nice neon green for the eyes. And a skull head. I mean, what more do you want? So, articulation, he's got a double ball peg in the head. You can't snap his neck and kill him because he's got a super long chin that impedes that, so oh well. He can look up quite a bit. He can look down. He can tilt pretty well. His shoulders are insane. So he's got the butterfly joint, but it is the most effective butterfly joint I have seen on a McFarlane figure. It doesn't even have like the cap on either side that usually hides it because he's a robot. It doesn't really require him to have that. It's not like the DC multiverse I've been looking at where they've had the cap or even the Mortal Kombat Spawn, because he's not a human. He doesn't need all that meat and thickness up in there. The shoulders will move out to the side that far, all the way up. You are going to want to grab it closer to the shoulder just so you can get it to move. It will rotate forward and back as well. He's got a bicep swivel right up here, right beneath the shoulder. It's a little limited, yes, but it does work. He's got a single joint in the elbow, which does give you more than 90. He ain't going to be able to punch his own face, really, but you do get plenty of articulation out of that. Now, he does have like it feels like it rotates down here and also down here, but it really doesn't. I think that's just how they're connected, and if they are, circular pegs to allow for a swivel, there's too much in the way to allow that, so whatever. He does have the ball hinge wrists, so you can give him the up and down or the side to side, in and out. And then, of course, it rotates at the top and the bottom. I will say you're going to want to heat the hands to get his gun in there. Initially, after a while, his hands will warp and the thumbs will open up a little bit and allow you to put the gun in there. So, nothing too crazy, but again, hashtag don't break your toys. Diaphragm joint and waist joint is crazy on this guy. He can tilt back about that far. He can tilt forward, about that far, which is pretty good for a skeleton robot anyways. He's got these loose wires kind of hanging off his rib cage there. They are a soft, pliable material, but I wouldn't go cranking on those. You could snap them off. But they do get out of the way for the most part, and they look nice just kind of hanging out there. He does have some tilt in the torso as well, and then both the spinal column and the diaphragm rotate So you do have that. He's got a very skeletal crotch, looking very much like a pelvis. Overall, he literally looks like a robot skeleton, which I think is the point. Even though this leg looks a little bit more beefed up because of this armor plate, he still has like the pelvis, the spinal cord, the rib cage, the skull, of course. Even the back, you can see the spine continuing up to where the head sits. He's got these two big plates sticking out of his back, and then he's got these plates here, which kind of are like the big old bones on your back that are behind your rib cage. So that is pretty sweet, all things considered. So moving that arm out of the way. His legs will splay out to the side. This one will actually move a little bit more because it is a different kind of joint. This leg is pretty much a T-joint, I think, whereas this one is more of a Y joint, so it kicks out to the side a little bit, but you can rotate at the knee, so you can at least straighten his leg out for the most part. He doesn't rotate a ton at the knee, but he rotates enough. And then this leg, you actually want to kick out 2 clicks, so he stands with both feet planted on the floor or the ground. And yeah, but no thigh cut over here. He does have it over here though. It works fine. And then he also has the knee swivel, which works again a little better over here, whereas over here it is a little bit more hindered for some reason. He does have a hinge at the knee. Okay, it moves a little bit more when it's bent. But the hinge at the knee is about that much. And he can't kick his own ass, but he can kick, like, he just misses his shoulder too. So, because the hip kind of goes out to the side, he can't kick himself. But he will look absolutely hilarious if you decide to pose him in certain ways. He's just got a lot of range because he's so skinny. But his feet will kick back. They will kick forward. Kick forward. He does have 2 little kind of nubbins on his ankles, so those are going to hinder the rocker a bit. But you do get enough. I mean, that's fair. And then you straighten the foot out, and there you go. Pretty straightforward there. Then he's got a toe hinge, which is actually pretty stiff on this figure. On both sides. It's not too bad. It's not too loose. It's not too tight, but it's not too loose. And then he has peg holes on the bottom of his feet, which I forget to mention most of the time, but I remembered today, so where's my freaking cookie? So, with that being said, I think that's all I gotta say about the articulation. I think I covered everything. Again, it's a little bit different than what we're used to seeing, but that's because he is a skeleton robot. And, yeah, very different from his wave mate, too, the big old bulky space marine. That's a little bit more like the Hellbat suit from DC Multiverse. But with that being said, let's take a look at some size comparisons. Taking a look at some size comparisons, here's Necron next to the Marauder from Doom Eternal, as well as the Superman Unchained from the DC Multiverse, because why not use this guy as a Metallo? Next up, we got him next to the Marvel Legends Cosmic Ghost Rider, as well as G.I. Joe Classified Series Red Ninja. Review of that coming up this weekend. And last but certainly not least, we got our 2 regulars. We got the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus and Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn. So that being said, time to wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and isn't any surprise at this point, I friggin' love this figure. I don't know shit about Warhammer, but this figure is badass. And if you are like yours truly and know nothing about Warhammer, you could easily use this guy as, say, a Metallo for your DC Multiverse, or even just a generic skeleton robot guy for some other line. I mean, Cosmic Legions is coming in 2021, ain't it? So, yeah, just saying. So that being said, I highly recommend you pick this guy up if you come across him. He's an awesome figure, and it is because of this figure, many others, I'm going to be doing a top 10 McFarlane Toys figures of 2020 countdown at the end of the year. That's right, I'm going to be pumping out them countdowns at the end of the year, possibly even before Christmas. Time will tell, won't it? But let's see, we got this guy to talk about. We got the Marauder from Doom. We got the Spawn from Kickstarter. We got the Mortal Kombat Spawn. Maybe even Shao Kahn if he comes out. We got Baraka. I haven't looked at that figure or picked him up yet, but he looks really sick. We got the other Warhammer figure, the Space Marine. He looks really awesome. We got this big-ass Cygor over here. And all of the DC Multiverse stuff. So, yeah. Definitely going to be doing a top 10 McFarlane Toys figures of 2020 list to go with the many countdowns I'm going to be doing at the end of the year. Some of which probably to be expected. I'm not sure. But again, time will tell, won't it? So, that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. And leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this figure. And remember, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Man, I love this figure.